The final weeks of summer are upon us, so what better way to mark the end of the season than to take in a few more glorious sunsets? Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking with Eden Dawn, author of the Portland Book of Dates and host of the We Can't Print This podcast. So go grab those picnic blankets because she's sharing the ultimate guide to activities and hangouts of all kinds that end with a golden hour sunset. It's Wednesday, August 30th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Eden, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you.
I agreed. Yes, it is always a pleasure to have me. Thank you for noticing, Claudia.
Let's talk about sunset watching. I love the do's and don'ts first. Please explain this to me as if I were an alien learning about Earth for the first time. Like, how long can I stare directly into the sun without burning out my retinas?
Great question, and is an individual answer. So when you do it, just time it and let me know when you lose sight.
Okay.
And then we will record all of the answers.
You'll put it in your book?
We'll put it in a book. My do's and don'ts for sunsets are pretty simple. I would say do live in the moment, enjoy the sunset, watch it. Don't take a picture of it. You're never going to need that photo, babe. You're never going to need that photo.
Also, it just never comes out.
They never come out. They
No.
never need. It's the same thing with videos of fireworks. You're never going to need that video. Just live in the moment. That's it. Live in the moment. You don't need to take a picture. If you're with somebody you have a crush on, do try and do some kissing because kissing at sunsets is hot. That's really it. That's the entirety of your rules for sunsets.
But what if you're there with your mom?
Then with your mom, you look at each other and you have a nice smile, like a main character moment where you're like, this is the movie of my life. And here's where they're playing the montage of a sunset where I smile at my mom.
That's solid.
Yeah, it's very simple. Everything's better in golden hour, like right when the sun goes down. You're like, oh my God, life is so grand.
That is when the credits usually do roll. So let's talk about, you just mentioned kissing. I just mentioned moms, but let's go back to kissing.
Great, yes. Let's divest those.
Yeah. So what's your most romantic date idea for catching a sunset in Portland?
Okay, Claudia, because I'm a bit of a talker, here's the deal. I have 3 things for you. I have a lo-fi option, a hi-fi option, and then I have my favorite romantic sunset in the entire state.
Ooh.
So my first 2 are local. What order would you like to receive these in?
Ooh, let's do local and then the most romantic afterwards.
Okay, so local, you want to start lo-fi?
Yeah, let's start lo-fi.
Okay, by lo-fi, I mean easy, budget friendly.
Okay.
So simplest, easiest thing to do. I'm talking like weeknight with your sweetie. You're like, let's just do something. Pack a picnic. Don't forget the picnic blanket. It really ups the elegance. Okay. And I'm about an elegant date. And it's Mount Tabor, right? It's very simple. Go to Mount Tabor. Go at the top. I like Tabor. One, because I think height for a sunset is always nice. And Tabor comes with a built-in bit of a show, right?
Yes.
There's always a random hula hooper.
Weird calisthenics.
Have
you seen those people?
Of course I've seen those people.
You're like, what is that? That can't be working anything out.
It's doing something. And long before the Barbie movie came out, there were Kens playing guitars at Barbies. At the top of Tabor at sunset. I have even been one of the Barbies where a Ken played guitar at me.
Oh my God.
So that's always something to behold. But I love a Tabor sunset, followed by one of my favorite little romantic bars right at the bottom of the hill for 20 years is Sapphire Hotel. So cute. Been around for forever, but was actually a brothel for sailors in the early 1900s. It's one of those places you go into and you're like, the vibes are intense here. You just feel there's been a lot of stuff that have happened in these walls, but it's very red curtains, candlelight, super swanky. It's at the top of Hawthorne. I think it's Hawthorne and 50th or 60th. And you can always get in good cocktails. Also, they mocktails with or without CBD. It's just a really little romantic spot. So it's go pack your picnic, have a thing, pop in for a nightcap or a dessert. It's such a simple, just little romantic night.
No, that's so sweet. Can I read you some of the drinks that they have? I'm looking at their menu right now.
Yeah.
Spritz and Giggles.
I mean,
Witchy Vibes.
that's me.
Yeah.
The witchy vibes are me.
No Respect.
Oh, well. If your partner orders the no respect, they either love Rodney Dangerfield or you want to break up with them. Those are my two.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to be one or the other. I mean, come on.
I realize I have severely dated myself on this show right now because the amount of people who know who Rodney Dangerfield is a litmus test.
What was his line? Something, oh, no respect. Something like that.
That's it. Okay, and then there's your fancy. This is
fancy.
fancy. Okay, this is, whatever. You're taking somebody out for a fancy date, an anniversary, a little splurgy. This is one of my secrets. This is like a thing I almost debated whether or not to tell you. But as they say on TikTok, I don't gatekeep.
I'm really happy that you're not gatekeeping this.
I know there's a standing ovation happening for me somewhere right now.
Oh, yeah.
Been around for 21 years. Noble Rot. 4th floor on Burnside. If you don't know, they grow all their vegetables and herbs on the roof of the building. They always talk about how they're supplied by an 8,000-year-old glacial well, which I've never really fully understood, but it's just cool. It's a cool fact nonetheless. But here's the deal. Because it's 4th floor, it's up above most other things there with the way that the city tilts down, and their patio is on the west-facing wall. So when you get a reservation, if you are out on the patio and you time it at sunset, it is a magical spot to watch the sunset over the city.
See, this is it. Eden, I've never been to Noble Rot. I've seen the sign. I used to live right up, Burnside, really close by. Is it a vegetarian restaurant?
It is not a vegetarian restaurant. There is meaty things there, but as a vegetarian, there are plenty of things for my folk. But it is the food is very delightful. It's a splurge, I would say, price point for most people, but it is a very nice, fancy experience. And after you watch that beautiful sunset, if you want to keep the romance going, you go to what I believe to be one of the most romantic spots in the city after that, Clyde's Prime Rib, for dancing in the lounge.
Hopefully Cool Breeze is playing.
But you're dressed up, you go, I love Clyde's, they call the lounge Vintage Vegas, which is so true. And people are wearing suits in all ages and you actually dance. And that combo of the night, Noble Rot Sunset, go to Clyde's for dancing, like you're getting sugar. It's a sugar night. I'm just saying, it's a sugar night.
Wow. What is the super fancy sunset?
Kayaking in the Tillamook Bay.
Ooh.
So I did this with my husband. We did this for Portland Book of Dates when we were doing research. It is probably one of my favorite dates I did out of researching the entire book. But Tillamook Bay has a kayaking. They bring the kayaks there. You go out at sunset, you paddle around the water lilies, you see the beaver dams, and you stay out and it's really calm. And then the sun goes down. And if you're smart, you have brought glow sticks in your kayak, and then you bust them out and put them on your head and your wrists and around your oar. And then you're paddling in the night where you can only see each other by your little raver glow sticks. Magical. Absolutely one of the most fun things possible.
And it's not that expensive. I'm looking right now. It's like $85.
No, and it is truly worth it. It was just such a lovely time. And we got to see a family of beavers going up into their dam. You can't put a price on that.
You really can't.
Family of beavers. When was the last time you saw a family of beavers?
Never. Not once.
I said it so accusatory. I didn't mean it.
I know. I was like, I'm sorry. Look, I didn't kill that family. I just never saw them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, more sunset watching ideas with Eden Dawn. Well, what about more of a friend date? Let's go back to mom. What if you don't want the night to end with, I'm going to quote you now, sugar? You want a nice dry high five. What's your favorite spot?
Okay, well, I don't know that this one is exactly mom friendly, just based on my mom activities. But friend friendly. Is that a term we're using? Friend friendly.
Yeah.
A good one for friends is tried and true combo. Obviously, you were expecting me to say it, I'm going to say it. Skidmore Bluffs.
Of course.
You take your own snacks to Skidmore Bluffs. It is always a party. I don't feel like I've ever been to a sunset at Skidmore Bluffs without running into, like 4 other people I know, which is what's so fun. Those are the moments that I love Portland so much, where you're just like, hey, hey, hey. But you all watch the sunset. Everyone lays out. You visit each other's little blankets. You have a good time. And then you pack it straight on over, hit the Alibi, karaoke.
That's a rowdy sunset right there.
I know.
Any other cool sunset spots for friends?
I mean, the other thing is in Oregon, I know it's a bit of a drive, but we have the Oregon coast is one of the most beautiful places to watch a sunset in the world. It just is. There's not that many places where you get to watch it sink into the ocean. And I love doing that. I love to be right out. Cannon Beach is like such a cute little town and has open container laws, and you're allowed to have fire on the beach.
Wait, I'm sorry, what now?
Mm-hmm.
I could have just been walking around all of Cannon Beach with an open container, or is it just on the beach?
It's no. It's just on the beach, and confirm the exact rules to that because I don't know what the boundaries are, but there are areas in which you are allowed to do that there.
Eden is out here getting us all arrested.
I did do my research on this. It's just been a couple of years, so I want to confirm before you get arrested and try to use me. I have been subpoenaed to testify in other random cases this year. That's true. I was subpoenaed to testify about fanny packs as a fashion writer. That's just a fun extra fact for you.
Wow.
I know.
I can't wait to find out what that murder was all about.
I'll tell you offline.
Oh, God. So lastly, what's your best solo sunset date idea?
This one's a bit far, but a very special thing. And it's a whole weekend. But if you ever need a little weekend away, the Sou'Wester is this beautiful little vintage trailer park up in Long Beach, Washington, on the Long Beach Peninsula, which is just this beautiful beach. And it is such a special thing to be able to go to this place, because if you're ever on a little solo trip, you want time alone, but you also want to sometimes be able to have access to people. And the thing I like about that place is you could go and you can go to the lounge and be around people, but then you could go back to your trailer and they have bikes there, and to go and take a little bike ride along the Long Beach Peninsula and watch the sunset there. I did this one time and it was just such a beautiful experience. So that's kind of a grand answer, but it's your life. Have a grand life.
I love it. I love all these ideas. I wanted to tell you that one of the most populated sunset spots that I've seen just in town. Do you know where Killingsworth and Greeley kind of meet?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you keep going down Killingsworth, you get to Willamette Boulevard. And there's a stretch where cars aren't allowed, and it's just people now walking and riding their bikes, right? And they're just sitting down on the street watching the sun set over Forest Park. And it's really sweet because it's the most lo-fi thing, but it happens daily. People are just out there, and people who live, have their houses out there, they'll just sit outside in their, lawn. And, I lived really close by, so I would walk my dog daily, during sunset after work. And I just got used to seeing all the people who live there just out there with their wine, all the people walking by saying hello. It was just so sweet. And it was such a sunset ritual.
I like that. That's really sweet. I bet there's other sunset rituals in town that we don't know about. We should do a poll.
Yeah, I want to know, what are your neighborhood sunset rituals? Because it's not just I loved all these ideas, by the way. I'm definitely doing the Noble Rot because food, drinks, sunset. But I just want to know where all of these little hidden spots are in town.
Yeah, it's true. I used to, when I was in college, I lived in this apartment down in the Park Blocks at PSU, and I had a west-facing window, and I was at the top. And I had a great view of sunsets there. I can't officially put it on my list because I don't know that the tenant currently will let people in.
Everyone, we're going to Eden's old college apartment.
We're going to my old apartment. It was like salmon in Park Avenue.
We're just knocking. We're like, I don't know if you know Eden Dawn, but she said there was a really good. We're just gonna just scooch by. We're just gonna.
Is that cool? We brought our own BYOB, but yeah, there are little special places that people have. So that's nice. Oh, I like that idea. People should send you their sunset spots, and we should read them in iambic pentameter. So it's truly romantic.
I will. If you guys send me your sunset stories, I will write poetry for you. That is a promise.
Wow.
Let's do it. Bring it. I don't have enough to do at all.
No. Everyone talks about that. Like, Claudia's really slipping these days.
She's just a lot of time on her hands. All right. Well, thank you. Hopefully we'll have you on again real soon talking about some other fun date ideas.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to support the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a good review. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.